This looks great. Really like it a lot. Feels really good. So we have one pre-assembled PCB, by the way. This we'll take a look at. Laminar swears by this board in its plateless config. So this is done with Lavender switches. I didn't build this. Lavender switches and TX stabs, I think. So we'll see. We'll see about this one here. We'll do this last. We're going to be building with Korby switches today. So this is going to start at about 380 USD. All right. 380 USD. There's two colors, beige and gray. I personally think the beige with the copper weight from the pictures looks fantastic. There's also win keyless, win key, and then HHKB, as well as some different mounting styles. You have to kind of buy the different mounting styles, so just a pre-warning there. We'll take a look at both today. We'll mount two keycap sets on them, yada, yada, yada. But this board takes design influence, I'm just reading off the website here, from previous boards and applies it to a 60% form factor. Complex angles and exposed copper weight, which I think is pretty, and multiple unique mounting styles. So pretty cool. Let's take a look. This is going to be vendor on a few websites if you guys are interested. This was sent to me and coordinated by Canning Keys if you guys are wondering. It does use a little, I think it's the Molex macro pad, or macro pad daughter board. Double cheeked up chilling on a Monday afternoon? Bro, we're trying. Alrighty. The gray's nice. This is a nice gray. The gray's nice. The gray and the copper looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. This is a nice looking board. I see some anno streaking on the bottom, but I do think there was notes I was supposed to read on this little guy over here. Let me see if the anno streaks are on that. 1 second. Actually, Laminar, do you know if the anno streaks are going to be... I know this is like a round one prototype case. The proto does have a bit of anno streaking. It's proto. Okay, just making sure. Want to cover my bases. Pretty though. Very pretty. Let's take a look at the side profile on this guy. Ooh, that's sharp. I like this little like hook over here. And then the little sexy copper wedge. Ooh. All right. That's a nice looking side profile. There's the internals again. See the daughter board runs through the internals there. I kind of like, I've been seeing this more and more on boards recently, and I kind of like it. It's not overly heavy. Like it's no heavier than, I don't know, even the class 60 I think is probably about the same weight. It's not overly heavy though, but it is weighty. Okay, so it's about 19.5, let's say on the tallest side. Not bad, I can appreciate that. Yeah, this is nice. The bottom's nice too. I like the exposed screws, always have. You know what I really like about this? Hear me out. This is probably something that... Did I miss the young... No, that's going to be at the end of the stream. End of the stream, guys. I'll show you guys the little bonus thing, the little young Alex picture. I'll show end of stream. All right. The one thing I actually quite like about this, the weight is just blank with the small little logo. Sorry, I had a hiccup. On the bottom left over here. So I can appreciate that a lot, actually. I just think it gives a better, clean aesthetic for something that's supposed to be a bit more designer, you know? I like this. I like this a lot. Oh, sorry, it's 17.5, 18. Okay, so it's still about 19, let's just say. 19, let's round up. Pretty nice, though, 18.5. And then, actually, I don't really know what this PCB looks like. So let's take a look at the PCB together. All right, here's our little PCB. So this is the PCB that's the non-plateless PCB and the plateless PCB. You can see there's tabs over here, just so you guys know. And this is the top mount variation plate. I guess to look at the solderable PCB. So this is the solderable PCB. Sorry, I should have showed you guys the solderable one. You know, there's enough options on here. I think it's just as many options as you can find in this guy. Although, the hot swap, I don't know if you can do a 6.25. It does look like you can do split. Can you do split? You can do split 3U. But the hot swap doesn't allow you to do a 6.25. There is no hot swap in the group buy. Oh, well, I didn't know that, Lamb. There's no hot swap on the group buy. Never mind, everybody. This is the solderable PCB then. Let's take a look at that then. Wait, so did you guys decide against going with the 3U here? Or is that not even an option? Siki did not have enough bastions, so we had to do... Oh, okay. Either way, I think there's plenty of compat here. just enough for everything, split backspace, you know, tons of normal things you'd find on a solderable PCB. So endgame to me is when you build something 100% to your preference. I do believe at one point you can find the thing that'll be the end of your journey, your end game, if you want to call it that, whatever. All right, so what should we try first then, guys? What do you guys want me to try first? Top mount or plateless first? Because technically both are already built up. So just to clarify and just to show you guys what we have again, we have a plateless build with Lavenders. These are TX stabs. I hope these work okay. We'll double check. But it looks nice. Hopefully this sounds really awesome. And then for the top mount build, we have the Korby Switches, which essentially should be technically the same switch. Because I believe these are the same materials and everything as a Lavender switch. And this is going to be top mount. Now, I'm going to mention this. Don't get mad. Lamb, I love you, but I don't like the fact that there's Phillips head screws in this, and I hope that changes. Not going to lie, that's probably my only point of grief with this keyboard right now. Might be my only little point of grief. They won't be Phillips? Thank you, Lamb. I appreciate that. That makes me very happy. Those are proto screws. Ew. Okay. Makes me happy. Thank you for that. If you guys are wondering why I don't like Phillips head screws, they strip easy, and especially on keyboards, because this one here is for the weight. People tend to kind of really drive their screws in, even though they don't have to. So ends up being a little bit of a user error. I don't know how I feel about the daughter board ruining that lovely weight. I mean, you won't see it though. It is a very pretty weight. Well, okay, let me just leave this here for a second. The top mount screws are the same as the daughter board ones. Okay, will there be enough for the top mount then? I hope so. Let's just double check. Let's just screw these in and then we'll count. If anything, I can just use something else. You know what? I have to admit, in terms of like how easy this is to kind of feed the wire through, some keyboards take a little like finessing, but this is pretty simple. It went in without having to, you know, finesse it. So I like that. That's nice. That long Ugo cable won't be there. Setting twice you see it. Oh, I didn't even think anything of it being too long or anything like that. Didn't even think anything of it. Was just kind of happy that I didn't have to like stress myself plugging in the PCB. How short is it going to be? It will be the proper length. What are we doing first? Let's do top mount first. I think I saw enough people would do top mount. Let's do top mount first, and then we can swap over. The switches are actually really cute on this, though. Gotta admit, switches kind of do look pretty hot here. It's a nice side profile on the keyboard. I hope Noir or Boneyard would rerun someday. I think Boneyard needs a nice like little rerun. That's for sure. Looks pretty nice with this setting. So these are the Korby switches. Again, before we get into anything with comparing and what sounds good, we're technically using the same switches today. We're going to be doing this next, which is the Plateless. I'll disassemble it and put this guy in, pick a new keycap set. We'll also go with GMK just to get a better, more definitive answer of which people prefer. These are using stabilizers. And this is the top mount variation. Give you guys a little HJ test. It feels like top mount, but it doesn't necessarily sound like a top mount. Hi, Wilba. It's a nice top mount. I think I can really appreciate the no mounting points. I hate saying this, but I like the fact that there's no mounting points underneath the space bar. I feel like a lot of the times that we've been doing keyboards the last few weeks, I've had to remove them. It's not quite as a bassy spacebar as like we've seen on a few other boards, but it is still a really nice spacebar. It really is. And let's see the side profile of this. I'll give you guys some more like modifiers. With the keycaps, this looks pretty sharp. I do like the way this looks. I mean, I already think the top mount sounds and feels really good. It's also very soft for a top mount as well. Soft in this area, just because, again, they left a lot of space under the design of this. So soft over here, and then feels more traditional top mount on the sides, which is nice. Maybe the backspace isn't my favorite on the top mount. Backspace sounds a little empty. Alphas sound great. And then just to test one other thing, because I know someone's going to ask me, let's just grab something else and try the spacebar with a different switch just to show you guys. Since it is hot swap, we can do that. We're using Korby's right now, which are not a long pull switch. Still kind of the same sound profile, a little bit more. A little bit more in your face. I think I did prefer the Korby switch in this case. I think Plateless definitely works better for this though. I can already tell. Ooh, I like this a lot. The mods actually aren't too bad either. The backspace definitely has a lot more character here. This is really nice. This is Plateless here. We're doing Plateless right now. Honestly, the top mount wasn't bad either. The top mount wasn't terrible. This guy here was not bad at all. I don't think the top mount was a bad thing. I think the Plateless, like for me anyways, blows it out of the water. Little HJ test. It's also a lot more comfortable to type on this too. I mean, it still is super soft to type with the top mount. Again, with a bit of added rigidity around the edges, which I think is great. So you get that little bit of a top mount, traditional top mount feel, and then just softness on the center because there's no mounting points here. So far, I think the board works for me. Like, I like it. Like I said, the only thing that I would probably like to note again, I know Lavenders said that this was already going to be worked on, but just so we can get a clear point of what we thought, the ano needs to be fixed. I know there's some streaking on this. Lavenders said that this was going to be fixed for the end there. And then I believe I also mentioned the gaskets. Would be nice to see if they just included gaskets at the right size instead of having to sit here with scissors and fiddle with it. I think that would be the only other major thing I would say. And then obviously the Phillips head screws, those need to be bye-bye. Side profile is really pretty on this, to kind of reiterate. I think this is a gorgeous side profile. The front height is sitting pretty at about 18 and a half. Nice colors. I would love to see the beige in person. That seems like it would be really nice. But the big giant slab of copper, also nice. I do appreciate the very small, subtle branding opposed to putting Leviathan and cursive font on the back. Kind of like that a lot too. So very cool. Fix the crooked caps too. Don't forget that. I can fix the crooked cap. You know, for whoever built this, I'll resolder it for them later. The back has a recessed USB port. So my thoughts going forward with that, some positive things. This looks great. Really like it a lot. Feels really good. I like the multiple mounting styles. I think one point that maybe I'm a little bit hesitant on, it kind of shares the same thought process as even the, what was it called? The transition. The transition also you had to buy different plates and different things to get different things working. I don't mind it because you do get the option of things. I appreciate that, but I would like some, not simpler way, but just a better way to kind of like move around parts without having to purchase a whole bunch of things. Yeah, other than that, pretty nice. Really like this. I like this a lot. Peace out, everyone. Love you guys, and bye-bye. Take care, everyone.